Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Joseph Ward, your historical homeboy, right here on the On the Shoulders of Giants YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in, for checking me out, and being a part of this journey. We're here to give you the sung and unsung heroes of the African diaspora that you probably wouldn't learn about. So thank you for rocking with us. And I just want to let you know that we're now on Patreon. So you can become a patron and help us empower and educate as many communities as possible throughout the African diaspora. www.patreon.com/OTSOG. Now go ahead and get to this video so we can drop this knowledge on you. Peace out. The Kafirs of Sri Lanka. From the 16th century through the 19th century, slaves, soldiers, and domestic workers from East Africa were brought to Sri Lanka by the Arabs, Portuguese, Dutch, and the British. Kafir is the name used to label this particular ethnic group of Sri Lanka. We are familiar with the term Kafir because the term is a racial epithet in South Africa. In Sri Lanka, the term came into being via the Arabs as Kafir, Q-A-F-R, meaning unbeliever or mystic because they refused to convert to their oppressors' ways. Later, the Portuguese adopted the term and pronounced it as Cafre, C-A-F-R-E. The British began to label this particular group of people as Kafirs as they counted their census between 1871 and 1911. The Kafirs continued to pass down their ancestry through oral traditions as they were enslaved by the Arabs, Portuguese, as well as their enlistment as soldiers, slaves, and domestic workers for the Portuguese, Dutch, and English. Culturally, the traditions of the Kafirs are fading as time passes and the people are introduced to new traditions from other cultures. The culture they do have was brought with them from East Africa and is mostly maintained by the elders. Outside cultural influences have also had an impact on the Kafirs religiously. The elders have maintained somewhat their original religious traditions, while most of the Kafirs are now Roman Catholic, Buddhist, and Muslim. Music is another facet of the Kafir culture that has changed as their elders continue to hold on to their African traditions. Kafrihina, or Bailas, is a popular form of Sri Lankan music created by the Kafirs, which includes African, European, and Asian elements. Today, the number of Kafirs is estimated to be around 1,500 people. They can be found throughout the Sri Lankan island in various cities. It is believed that when the Kafirs were brought to Sri Lanka, their numbers were around 20,000 people, numbers that are vastly different from the number of Kafirs living today. The Kafirs originally spoke a form of Portuguese Creole, which included linguistic elements from Africa, Asia, and Portugal. They are a people who have contributed to Asian culture and Sri Lankan culture through their music and craftsmanship. The assegai is a metal-tipped spear that was widely used in battle and is an example of the Kafir contribution to Sri Lanka. These people were brought to Sri Lanka by force or as a source of labor, either for war, cleaning, or building. Like many other African people, they were also victims of Arab and European colonization. The Arab slave trade has existed for over 2,000 years and it still exists today. The slave trade is one of the reasons the Kafirs from Ethiopia, Mozambique, and various other East African countries exist in Sri Lanka today. Similar to African people being dispersed throughout the Americas via the transatlantic slave trade, African people were dispersed throughout the Asian continent via the Arab slave trade as well as European colonization. The Kafir are another example of the extent of the African diaspora. African people have traveled and civilized the world on their own or by force. To the Kafirs of Sri Lanka, we proudly stand on your shoulders. For more information, please visit www.ontheshoulders1.com or www.ontheshoulders.org. While you're on my website, please take advantage of my free app. So download my On the Shoulders of Giants African History Curriculum app and also get your copy of my new book, On the Shoulders of Giants Volume 3 South America.